Welcome back to the PWC YouTube channel for this week's recording of our one of our pile divisions, the Azure division, which is also known as the top pile. So prior to the seasons, this is who we estimated to be the stronger half of our newcomers to the league, and it is a very special match in this division, as it is the match between our current front runner, aka vioz, aka Kim Yong-do in this showdown replay, or not replay, live battle. He's still unbeaten, one of 3 coaches in the entire league out of 100 and roughly 115 coaches. There are 3 coaches that are left unbeaten in week 6, and vioz is one of them. And the opponent is called Shadow numbers, and Shadow, I believe he might be number 2 in the league. Don't quote me, but I know they are doing very well. So this is a absolute top match. And yeah, like I said, vioz still unbeaten. And yeah, so we see a very interesting turn 1 and turn 2. Shadow catches the incoming Lapras with a low kick upon switch in, as obviously Lapras is probably one of the best counters in the game to, or not, yeah, maybe not one of the best counters in the game, but it's a very good counter normally to the Dracovish. But now that it's weakened, I mean, Shadow can still not yet lock himself into a Fisher's Rend if he's choiced in any way, but I don't know what this protect is supposed to do, but he clicked it. Um, so yeah, he can't, if he's choiced, still can't lock himself into Fisher's Rend yet, but if he gets one more prediction right, he could do it, and then like there's not really much that wants to take the Fisher's Rend after that. So yeah, it seems like Shadow is playing this very aggressively so far. To like complete call outs. I mean, they aren't like the most surprising switch-ins you would say, but I still think like the T-Bolt especially. I mean, he also got a lucky crit there, which is very annoying for vioz, since it means that he will be 2-hit KO'd by this T-Bolt, which he probably otherwise would not have been. So yeah, that's annoying for vioz, and yeah, but he can still go into T-Tar now, yeah, like, and that's obviously smart on him, because now not only does he eat this T-Bolt, but he also like catches this incoming future sight, which doesn't affect him now. So yeah, that was a good turn for vioz, the first good turn since ever before that. He got his defensive core very weakened here. Oh, he's so aggressive, Shadow. However, I'm not sure if this was the switch he expected, because this could easily have Brave Bird and then it would just delete this Decidueye. But at the very least, Decidueye can prevent this from roosting. And yeah, vioz is not having a good game so far, so this is scrappy. This always runs scrappy. Yeah, he also says in the chat right now he forgot about that. And but however, yet another crit for Shadow, which yeah, he's getting very lucky with these crits, one has to say. But yeah, he's also incredibly aggressive. Like we are only on turn 9, and like 3 of these turns have been hard callouts. One double switch, one and 2 times catching a mon on switch in with like call out moves. Ooh, also another aggressive play. Man, he's going crazy. Okay. Oh, Subseed. There's once again the trademark vioz Subseed Sceptile Mega, very interesting. Yeah, this Lele is gonna be very much annoyed by this repeated substitute spam right now. But yeah, yeah, just Shadow is in a huge lead right now. He's playing this so aggressively, and so far he's like been right with all his predictions. Every single one of them has been dead on the money. Plus, he's also been very lucky with 2 crits here. So yeah, it's just, man, what? So this is not. So I would not play it like this. He's incredibly aggressive, but yeah. At the very least, we do see that this is not a Psychic Seed Sneasler, which obviously is interesting. Um, it might be, I mean, it might be banned at Poison Touch. It might still be unburdened, just with a different item. You never know. I would say now that the Corsola is gone, Close Combat is insanely free. So if he is a banded Sneasler, This is looking very likely to clean up the game at one point. Yeah, it like comes in on 3 months and just clicks close combat. Nothing can switch in. It's obviously these two can probably kill it from the range that it's at, but yeah, other than that, yeah, I don't see. There we see the stupidest combination in the world of Pokemon: sub pass, completely uncompetitive combination of moves. But yeah, people lately, because somehow they want to prove desperately that it's somehow broken when it is clearly not. So people have been running it every week. Um, but yeah, it's not competitive, guys. Trust me. It's nothing that takes 2 turns to set up and half your move set. It's a gimmick. You can make it work once when the opponent is like not prepared for it at all, but um, like you can see it. You just need too many free turns for it to be effective, and yeah, in these free turns you could do other stuff that would be much more effective than sub pass. So yeah, I don't think it's a good combination, but yeah, people are right now campaigning for it to be somehow broken. But yeah, here is this Decidueye again. This is a huge problem for vioz. It's a very good set in this match. He doesn't have a he didn't have a fighting resist for this to begin with. And yeah, since he is a rather slow team, it outspeeds 4 out of the 6 months. Actually, 5 out of the 6 months if you don't count the Scissor Bullet Punch. And the mon that it does outspeed it can't really do much to it. So yeah, this is a devastating set. Especially now that the Corviknight is low as well, which means that it can't switch in here. That is, yeah, I have to say I'm a fan of this doing something. The problem is he can lose a lot of his PP here to the substitute stall, which vioz, being the good player that he is, recognizes that it's probably his best bet. Maybe after another drop he can even do a lot of damage to it. Yeah, now he's gonna get subs. If I were Shadow, I would have went for one more close combat because this was rather obvious. But I guess if you're if you're just gonna dodge the leech seed, then it doesn't really matter. Yeah, Shadow is getting on top of being super aggressive and getting most plays right. He's also getting very lucky here. So I don't see vioz honestly winning this. So this is gonna be vioz's first loss, and it's looking like it's gonna be a sizable one too. Um, yeah, alright. We know this is leftovers. The last move is very likely to be Mystical Fire, so this is our... I think it's just gonna die if it's not Occa Berry. Oh, it's not. Alright, interesting. Interesting. So yeah, he went for it. Um, interesting. No Mystical Fire. This might get dicey after all, just because... I mean, he still has the Fish's Rend and then he can go Sneasel after, but he kind of relies on... Probably has to sack a few months now, because this is not gonna do the trick, this Sand Slash, let me tell you. Unless it gets like Fire Punch, which I don't think it does, but Trailblaze, ooh, this is dangerous. Wow, let's see if this gets, oh, this might get interesting. Well, I don't think, oh yes, it does outspeed the Sneasler. Oh, this might be game. This might be game, he might bring it back, that's incredible. Ooh, that was nasty. Yeah, him switching out the Lele there was kind of greedy because he didn't really need the Lele anymore. Um, really didn't need the Lele, but I guess he still had the Leech Seed on himself. No, oh yes, it did have the Leech Seed on it. So, ooh, this might be so expensive not having the Mystical Fire. It does get Mystical Fire, right? I think it does. And yeah, interesting. Yeah, he might just lose to it now. Interesting. I wonder what his plan is here. This is just gonna drop unless it's like Terra Water. Oh, it doesn't even have Bullet Punch. Obviously, yeah, he also knew that because of the thingy. But yeah, he's kind of relying on that. This is not gonna work if this is his last straw. Relying on the What a cool set, man. vioz was down and out in this match. Does bro win like that? Says Dried Wake in the chat. Yeah, that's incredible. That's a great set. It's honestly very very cool to see this work out. Um, I wonder. Shadow might have thrown this by not staying in with the Lele. Yeah, this Sneasler is, unless it's scarfed, it's not gonna outspeed this. Yeah, I think this is game. Crazy. Crazy comeback. I mean, he could still try the Dracovish. I don't know why he's not been doing that earlier, but I don't think this is gonna do him much good because unless it's scarfed, but I don't think it is. Um, yeah, I don't know. If he can get rid of the scissor, then he still wins the game because he can just spam close combat. He just needs to get rid of the scissor. This has to sweep or vioz loses to this Decidueye, which just runs through the rest of these guys with the close combat. But yeah, I don't know. As you can see from the health it's at right now, had he just stayed in with the Lele, it probably would have been dead by now. Or at least close to being dead, depending on. And obviously, if he does have Mystical Fire as the last move, then it's just a huge throw. Um, but yeah, we are gonna see. But yeah, very, very cool set. Either way, oh, out comes the Lele. Let's see. Let's see. But obviously, the Lele can't really do anything. It's definitely, we know it's leftovers, so it's definitely slower. Oh, he's just baiting out more moves. Yeah, this is desperate. This is very desperate. That's not gonna work. This is gonna mean good game, I think. Unless, I guess if he's, what is he doing now? Alright. If this is Shadow Sneak Bandit, but then he just, with his own, yeah, with his own Psychic Terrain, he just messed himself up there as well. I wonder if this was, I think it also gets Sucker Punch maybe? That could have been, but yeah, he's gonna lose now. Interesting, very, very cool. Incredible. Trailblaze Scissor Sweep. I wonder if he had priority on this, in which case he just... Oh no, side terrain lasts too many turns. Oh, he had the Shadow Sneak. Oh, that's painful. That is very painful. If he was banded, he could have won this. Oh, he just needed to sack the Dracovish instead of the... Oh, that's painful. But yeah, that's very, very cool for vioz. Very low. So he was down and out in this match. There was like, and this was a Hail Mary scissor set. Great set. Absolutely great set. And never seen a Trailblaze scissor sweep before. The live orb as well. Very, very interesting. And yeah, I think, so yeah, Shadow, he definitely could have prevented this by staying in with the Lele initially. Which he didn't really need anymore to win. And yeah, well, but that is how it goes sometimes. vioz still remains undefeated. Congrats to him. That was a hard-fought victory. And with a great set, like I said. Also congrats to Shadow for an incredibly aggressive performance. Maybe, yeah, uh, yeah, I mean, the early game definitely worked out well for him. He got some very good reads and obviously got a little bit lucky as well. But in the end, yeah, probably could have gotten a better result here. Especially, he could have sacked the Dracovish if it's banded, which I'm assuming the Decidueye is. Then he could have. It's still dicey, right? Because then you can. He could have sacked the Dracovish, then revenged with Shadow Sneak, And then in theory you would clean up with close combat after, but the problem is if you're locked into Shadow Sneak, then if he's smart, which vioz probably is, then he can go into Corviknight and roost up. Um, so he's no longer in close combat range and would in theory just be able to knock out the Decidueye with Brave Bird if it has it. Um, but on the other hand, then you get to go into Lele, and then it's pretty much a 50-50 between do you click T-Bolt on the Corviknight, or do you predict the T-Tar to switch in with Moonblast, and if you get it right, you win, and if you don't get it right, you are probably in trouble. So yeah, interesting match, and yeah, well-deserved winner in vioz, and guys, I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.